I just never seen homeboy explain himself.
He probably said something slick about Jay-Z 2 months ago, maybe. I'm just guessing, I don't know. Jay hasn't spoken to him in 10 years. He's still talking about Jay. He'll still say something slick about Biggs. These don't say nothing to them.
Jay never respected Cam at all. Yeah, remember, he knew him when he was young. That's why he was so offended, because he was a little nigga to him. To Jay, Cam was a little nigga, and Cam even said he little nigga every time he saw him. Pause.
Every time Dame Dash pops off, people online say the same thing. Now I see exactly why Jay-Z left him behind. The man just can't let it go. Dame recently went on yet another rant about Jay and their infamous fallout.
Jay-Z, what do you regret about y'all situation? Do you think it should have been more? You think you guys could have had more together?
Yeah, all that, but we were friends, so I just was more hurt as a friend. Like, how would you feel if your brother just betrayed you for money?
But here's the kicker. Cameron jumped in, claiming Jay never even did anything. According to Cam, Dame's the one who's been dragging this beef for decades, torching relationships, blowing money, and putting himself in the middle of lawsuits just to stay loud in the headlines. For years, most folks only heard Dame's side, painting himself as the victim of betrayal. But was Jay really the bad guy here? Or did Dame sabotage himself with his nonstop ego trips and reckless spending?
Nah, Jay never respected Cam at all. Yeah, remember, he knew him when he was young. That's why he was so offended, because he was a little nigga to him. To Jay, Cam was a little nigga, and Cam even said he little nigga every time he saw him. Pause. You see, he called him an earner. I was like, this is funny, man. You know, because I was trying to squash the beef, and he's like, all right, just tell him. I was saying, he makes money for us. Like, how could you be mad? You just got to. She's like, okay. So he goes on the radio, oh, he's a good earner. And Cam was hot. I was kind of laughing, because he was a good earner. Yeah, you're a good earner, Cameo. You were a good earner. But you fucked up on purpose, and then you gonna fuck with my kids, so. Can't be mad, I don't think. You tried, you missed, you're Stugats. You know, that's what I ain't gonna get into it, but yeah, he's a Stugats. When someone does that, like when someone, like me, and I ain't gonna say who, because I don't want to get into it, but when it be people that would violate like our honor code, we would call them a Stugats. So we'd be he's a Stugats. So that we know what a Stugats means amongst us. A Stugats is someone that breaks the honor code. And, you know, Cam to me now is a Stugats. Like, yeah, he turned out to be a Stugats, you know, one of those. But, like, truthfully, Cam could never put Jay as a rapper. So, look.
Now, fast forward to 2025, Dame's stuck in court battles, dealing with financial chaos, and even clashing with old friends in public. And suddenly, their whole ugly breakup feels like it never ended, like the drama is still alive and kicking today.
You hear people's gripe against me, it's always about what I didn't do for them. They don't say I did anything to them. They said I didn't do something for them.
So let's really break this mess down. Dame Dash has been popping up in headlines, but not for music, not for business wins, for straight up financial chaos. He just filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy, admitting he's drowning in over $25 million of debt, and according to court docs, all he's got to his name is around $4,000 total. That's right. Dame says his monthly income is zero. No car, no flashy electronics, just a $500 phone, 2 firearms, a couple of clothes, and $100 in cash. Can you imagine going from Roc-A-Fella millions to that?
We seen that Dame owe $800,000 to a debt, or these people would get his third of Roc-A-Fella. Mace was like, yo, nah, bro, come on, B, that's Dame, bro. Word to everything I love, he like, that's Dame. And he don't even, like I said, they aren't the best relation. He's like, nah, tell him, he's like, yo, you wanna go 5-5? We can't let this go out like that. So I called Dame. I said, yo, Mace wanna help out. So he's like, we got $1 million. He's like, well, I don't know. Cause young boy NBA called me up, he got $2 million. We like, all right, cool. Like we just wanted to get you out the news for looking bad. So I guess the young boy NBA thing fell out. So Mace called back the next day. Yo, see what he wanna do. He like, yo, just wait on it. I might got another deal. So Mace like, yo, bro, he said, you got $1 million today in your account today. Hold on, I might got a deal for $6 million. I'm like, all right, cool. Dame waits 3 weeks to call back and says, yo, what's up? what's up, y'all want to bust that move? So when I called Beth back, Beth like, nah, man, the deal's off. We ain't doing it. He waited 3 weeks. So I said, Dame, Mace ain't picking up. I just said like that. I said, I don't think he want to do it. He tries to use reverse psychology on me and be like, oh, you gotta wait for that nigga to bust a move. Oh, you can't bust your own moves. I feel you. I feel you can't bust your own moves. No, I can't, Dame. I can't bust my own moves. I'm not feeding into that. No, I can't. I had 500,000. Mace had 500,000. And no, I don't have $1 million to give you for that, because the thing about it was this. Jay-Z offered him $1.5 million for the third before anybody. For the other third of Roc-A-Fella. He got offered $1.5 million from Jay-Z or Biggs or whoever, or a combination. And he like, nah, I'm not selling to them niggas that. He didn't want them to have it. So you got 1.5 on the table. You got a guaranteed $1 million from me and Mace on the table. And then you gamble trying to get $6 million. You talking about Drake is calling you. All these other people that are supposed to call you never followed through. And the deal fell through.
But here's where it gets crazier. He owes $647,000 in domestic support and nearly $19 million in taxes and debts. His ex-wife, Rachel Roy, is on the list, since they share 2 daughters, Ava and Tallulah. Then there's Cindy Morales, the mother of his son Lucky, and Linda Williams, mom of his son Boogie. Basically, every corner of Dame's personal life has him coughing up money he doesn't have, and the numbers don't lie. He's buried. And the lawsuits, they just keep stacking. One of the ugliest is the $4 million defamation judgment owed to filmmaker Josh Weber. Dame went off on a podcast accusing Weber of stealing during their beef over the 2019 movie Dear Frank. The court didn't buy it, found him guilty of defamation. But Dame swears he was just speaking his truth. He even complained, "What I lost was defamation because these guys trigger me and steal my ish." You think there's freedom of speech? It's really not. That's a direct quote. Dame blaming the system while ducking a $4 million bill.
So when I got there, Roc-A-Fella was real good to me. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to do, but I went upstairs to Def Jam, like, now I'm gonna get the other muscle too. And nobody at Roc-A-Fella ever did that. And I just think that I was doing that other artists at Roc-A-Fella never did, and I don't know if Jay-Z liked it or not. A lot of it played into when Dame said that he wanted to make me like the president or vice president of Roc-A-Fella. I kind of was speaking and went on TV and talked about it, and Jay-Z was on vacation, and I don't think when Jay-Z came back, he liked that. And, you know, they was giving me little side eyes and so on and so forth, to where some of my verses got erased off certain artists like PD Crack, and I erased his verse off.
The question that was asked was, are you the reason why Dame and Jay aren't cool? He's the person that told Jay, I'll do a deal with you with or without Dame Dash or Biggs. And he's the one that advised him based on what Steve Stout told me and based on what Irv Gotti told me, that was like, yo, why would you split it 3 ways if you could just do it yourself?
Did you hear his response to that question?
Nah, I just heard about it, to be honest.
I wanted to know what you thought about what he said, so I'm gonna tell you what he said.
Not a lifelong question, but for hip hop people, it always pops up. Is Lyor the reason Jay-Z and Dame Dash is not together?
Absolutely not.
Okay, that's just
like, if Lyor was the reason, then they never were together in the first place. Okay, right? Mic drop.
When Nori asked him that question, and the specific question for those who didn't watch it was, are you the reason why Dame and Jay split? His response to that question was, if Dame and Jay were really together, then I couldn't have been the reason that they split.
Right. But I think he's right on that. But I do think there could have been more of an elaborate answer. Are you the one that showcased that? Did you give him the option? Did you push him, make him aware of what he could do and that what you would support? Did you give him the idea to do that? Did you violate and have meetings behind his back? So when that meeting happened, when Dame was yelling, who made that meeting? It's a tape of it and me being mad. Those are questions I think should be asked, and people want to know. It's the elephant in the room. So why ignore it? You know, like, why wouldn't people ask that question? So that bothers me when Jay gets on the interview, and when Leor gets on the interview, and people don't ask the questions that they ask me. If you never ask me that question, I'm fine. But because y'all continuously ask me these questions, how come when they get on in front of a camera, y'all don't ask them? And if they give you a like one little question to pivot, y'all just be pressing me. So I'm just like, give them, you know, like, just make it fair.
And then there's the Cam'ron drama. These two are locked in a messy back and forth, with Dame threatening to drag Cam to court too. He's throwing the whole book at him: defamation, harassment, business sabotage, unjust enrichment, even historic interference. The wildest part? Dame is demanding $300 million from Cam. Dame took things even further when he blasted Cam by posting a screenshot of his official demand letter. In the caption, Dame wrote, "I never hustled with Cam'ron. He's a civilian, but he's messing with my family office and making my wife and two of my sons uncomfortable. I would never do anything, and I don't want anyone who loves me to do anything either. So this is the only way I can handle it." Then Dame hit everyone with the Godfather reference, saying, "This is my version of how the Godfather handled Fredo. I knew it was gonna be one of my brothers. I just didn't know it was gonna be you, bro. And that does make me sad. We'll just have to let a judge decide like businessmen, and I don't find it funny." The drama sounds straight out of a mob movie, but Dame's treating lawsuits like they're street codes. And even while knee-deep in bankruptcy and legal battles, Dame is still hopping on podcasts running his mouth. In a fresh sit-down with Art of Dialogue, he dragged Jay-Z right into his ongoing feud with Cam'ron, refusing to let that beef rest. It's like he just can't breathe without bringing Jay's name into the mix.
So, you know, I'm sitting here on the dock, looking at the view, and I'm thinking, like, why am I beefing with Cam? And the only reason why is because I just never got to talk to him. He publicly said he wasn't going to talk to me, but almost every OG from Harlem and everyone I respect is like, yo, cut this shit, it's embarrassing. So, you know, Daniel spoke to Cam, and we could resolve this. I just want to talk to him, and it's over. And if you need to, you know, because we can't publicly have us as black people beefing with each other. That's just what they want. They use us to tear each other down. They don't do it. We do it to ourselves, but they usually pay us to do it. And I'm not going to get caught up in that. So I'd prefer to squash this. I want to apologize to Harlem because I know this was embarrassing for Harlem. And I'm manning up, but, you know, the thing is, in Harlem, we deal with things different. It also comes with violence. And I can't be violent, and I won't be violent. And I don't want any of my friends to be violent. My job is to keep them out of jail. So the only way I can deal with things, to keep certain things out of the algorithm, is to answer as soon as somebody says something. And my version of violence is just lawsuits. If I could take it to the streets, I would, but we can't. And the Italian Godfather, part 2, he killed his brother. The black Godfather don't kill his brother. He teaches his brother. So, again, if y'all want to sit down and work it out, I don't even want to be a part of that project that y'all doing. I don't really understand what it is. But I feel like 50, Cam, me, if together we show that we can be beefing, pause, and then come together and maybe do a TV show together, something different. Or a movie or something, just showing the world that we can work together. And we would prove everyone wrong. They love us tearing each other down, and I'm not doing that shit. And I apologize to my OGs for embarrassing y'all. But I just wanted to talk to him. And he finally talked to, you know, he finally replied when I hit him with the lawsuit, and I was like, nah, now go talk to Daniel. And if you want to, Daniel, if you want, please arrange us to have a sit down. You know, you can bring who you want. And also 50, you're invited too. But instead of us talking about each other on fucking social media like clowns, let's sit down and talk like real men. Let's take this off the street. The street right now is the internet, and this shit is corny. So I don't want to fight with y'all no more.
But why this endless obsession? Why can't Dame let go when Jay has been ignoring him for over a decade? According to Jay-Z himself, it's not betrayal, it's entitlement. Jay once explained it like this: people like Dame aren't mad because I did them dirty. They're mad because they feel entitled to my help. Here's the craziest part. Jay actually tried to throw Dame a lifeline. He straight up offered to buy his own masters back from Dame for $3 million, just to put money in Dame's pocket. But instead of taking the guaranteed bag, Dame got cocky and said the catalog was worth $10 million. He put it on the market, nobody bought it, and now look, Dame's broke. How could that possibly be Jay's fault? And it doesn't stop there. Cameron recently spilled that Dame fumbled other bags too, all because of pride. Cam and Mace once offered him $1 million for a business move, and Jay even circled back with another $1.5 million to help him hold on to his Roc-A-Fella shares. And guess what? Dame passed on both. The man turned down millions while screaming about being robbed, when really, he robbed himself. So now the question hangs heavy. Was Dame the problem all along, not Jay? To answer that, let's rewind to the beginning. Roc-A-Fella was born with Jay, Dame, and Biggs running the empire, and for a moment, they were untouchable. But egos and money clashed fast. One major breaking point came when Cameron joined The Roc. Dame pushed hard for Cam to get more power and even tried to slide him into the vice president role. But Jay wasn't having it at all. Jay saw Cameron's promotion as a straight-up threat. It wasn't just about Cam climbing the ladder. It was about who really had the final say inside Roc-A-Fella. Dame wanted Cam leveled up, but Jay wasn't about to hand over that kind of control. That clash was the spark that exposed the real issue: power. On top of that, Dame and Jay weren't even dreaming the same dream. Dame swore he was about keeping Roc for the culture, locked in with the streets and staying authentic to the hood. But Jay? He had his eyes on global power moves, corporate partnerships, Roc-owned ventures, and turning their brand into an empire that could last forever. Two visions, one label, and they couldn't coexist. By the mid-2000s, it all exploded. Dame accused Jay of sneaky moves, claiming he got pushed out of his own creation. He said Jay betrayed him by linking up with former Def Jam boss Leor Cohen, who Dame insists was the mastermind whispering in Jay's ear to break Roc-A-Fella apart. Meanwhile, Jay stayed silent, letting his business wins do the talking while Dame screamed betrayal to anyone who would listen. Fast forward to 2025, and Dame is still venting about the same wounds. He's on social media dropping clips, interviews, and shots at Cameron, calling him fake and opportunistic. Yet at the same time, he's trying to patch things up with old enemies like 50 Cent. The problem? To fans, Dame looks inconsistent. One day, Dame is preaching unity. The next, he's back throwing shots in interviews. That flip-flop energy has everybody confused. Does he want reconciliation, or is he just chasing attention? Just days after announcing a $300 million lawsuit against Cam, Dame suddenly switched lanes, posting a video apologizing to everyone, even 50 Cent, saying he wanted to sit down with both Cam and 50 to squash the drama. But 50 wasn't buying it. He clapped back fast, posting, "I agree with Dame 100%. It's better to work together. We should sit down and figure out how to move forward. I believe we can create a path to more." Oh wait, Cam just said F Dame and his fake ChatGPT lawsuit, so it's F you, Dame. That response was pure 50, savage, sarcastic, and cutting Dame down in seconds. And that right there shows the bigger problem. It's not just Jay-Z who wants nothing to do with Dame anymore. The truth is, Dame has burned almost every bridge left in the industry. From old collaborators to once loyal friends, even people who had his back in the past, most of them want no part of him now. His reputation is locked in as someone who let ego and arrogance run the show, and now it's all catching up to him. The truth is, Dame's biggest problem might be that his bank account doesn't match the arrogance he's still trying to project. He walks around with mogul energy, but the paperwork says otherwise. Bankruptcies, lawsuits, and debts piling higher by the day. The image and the reality just don't line up anymore, and that gap is eating at him. What really stings for Dame is the respect factor. He still craves the clout he had in the early Roc-A-Fella days, but the numbers don't back it up. The power moves aren't there. The industry seat at the table, gone. And while he's out here fighting to keep his voice alive, people are noticing the desperation more than the influence. The public's been split on this for years. Some ride with Dame, saying he's the OG who got played, that Jay ditched friendship for money and corporate power. Others argue Jay was never shady at all, just smarter with the business, building longevity while Dame blew opportunities out of pride. And now, looking at where they both stand, the contrast couldn't be louder. So what do you think? Is Dame just bitter because his money fell off while his ego stayed sky high?